Hello, I'm Adrian Sassoon, and I just want to talk briefly today about my enthusiasm for early French 18th century porcelain from the Vincennes factory. I am showing some pieces from my own collection. I'm a dealer, but I also collect things, and I have three things in front of me that I really didn't think I would own. They were all kind of dreams because I saw them for years in other people's collections or publications, and I thought this is never going to come my way. But these are three things I've been hoarding for many, many years that I really enjoy. One of my first experiences with 18th century porcelain was going in 1977 from school with my mother to view Mentmore. Mentmore Towers is a great Rothschild house which became the Earls of Rosebery's home in Buckinghamshire, and there was this great house sale in May 1977. My mother took me from school for the day. It was a great treasure trove of French 18th century furniture, porcelain, great paintings, all sorts of other things, amber objects, Kunstkammer objects, and I'd never seen anything like it before. And actually this was sold then in May 1977, but I was at school, I wasn't buying anything, wasn't in that league. It was bought by the British Railways Pension Fund, an investment business of the 1970s basically. It used to be on loan at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and I started looking at it. I'd be putting my nose up to the glass of the cabinet it was in thinking, wow. It's from about 1750. It's large of its type of a broth bowl. You would have warm broth in there served to you, and there's a theory that because a dozen or so are known with this fish and ingredients of broth, maybe it's for a fish broth on a Friday, but this is a large one, and it's probably more ceremonial, great collector's piece than actually every Friday having your broth in the middle of the day. But it's painted with the most amazingly vibrant colours, the gilding's superb, the modelling is superb, there's just something about it, it's got what it takes and more. And it was sold probably by about 1990, and I was lucky enough to buy it then. This is a cup and saucer with a lizard forming the handle. Has been a part of my life for a long time, and they're so rare. I think beautiful and charming as well, but made in about 1748, 49, 50, maybe 1750. There's one in the British Museum, and I'd seen that, I thought, wow. And then in about 1984, I was lucky enough to buy one, and I owned it for years, but I sold it to the French National Museum of Ceramics. They put it on the cover of a book, all the French sort of scholars, and I thought, oh well. And there are only three of them known. This is the third one. So I'm really lucky. In the last few years I was able to buy the third and last one known. We've got a large tureen here, dated with the date letter C, which when I was young meant it was Vincennes 1755, but correctly a scholar has proved it's actually 1756. It's when the factory moved from Vincennes to Sèvres. The physical locations mean the change of name, but all the same workers went. So it's still in the Vincennes idiom, and it's a tureen to serve hot stew, and the stew might have been kept hot inside there and then poured into the platter and served from the platter. And this is unusual because it has these celery leaves coming up the legs, a beautiful, extensively elaborate lemon and lemon blossom knob. And that was shown in a magazine, Connaissance des Arts, a very famous magazine shown in the 1970s. I thought, wow, I'll never see it. It was in a collection in France or Switzerland, and it actually turned out it was in the collection of the man who owned the magazine. And there was a change of generation, and this came up at auction probably 20 years ago, and I bought it then. It's quite humbling to own pieces that you really care about.